It's 8 in the evening, July 30th, 2020. And we are broadcasting live over the over Facebook Live, to which we will be once this broadcast is over, we will be shared over YouTube and other podcasting platforms as well, such as Spotify, Google Podcasts. I think we're on iTunes already, as well as primarily on Anchor. And you're on the Poste podcast. And this is already episode episode number 4. I am your anchor of the show and chief content creator for Poste. I am architect Pacoy Anyag, and with me is architect Jose De Leon, who is camera shy right now, as well as the district director of UAP Regional District A2a, architect Albert Dumlao. Woohoo!
Good evening to all
Good
the viewers.
evening.
Yes. So good evening. For tonight's episode, we will be featuring the UAP National Management Committee, and we will be they will be our guests for the night. But unfortunately, they're still at the district turnover. The district turnover of the QC chapter, I believe. But in a little bit, they'll be joining us. And we will be speaking about or talking about UAP's corporate thrust for fiscal year 2020 and 2021. Ano bang ine-expect natin dito, Sir Albert?
Yes, first of all, let us just explain kung ano yung tinatawag nating management committee or the MANCOMM of UAP. The management committee is composed of the national president, the national executive vice president, the secretary general, and the national treasurer. So these 4 officers, they, according to the bylaws, they shall aid in the day-to-day operations of the organization. So they evaluate the performances of UAP personnel periodically as may be necessary and endorses recommendations to the National Board of Directors. So, kumbaga, sila yung day-to-day operations. No? So, yung pag-craft din of the corporate thrust for this fiscal year mostly came from them initially and of course approved and adopted by the national board. So for tonight, hopefully we will get more details as to how they plan to implement these thrusts. Of course, we have been hearing them already since July 4 in the first corporate planning and subsequent programs after that. But for tonight, we can get details from them, especially how these thrusts relate to our district in particular, and of course to the UAP in general.
Yeah, not just our district, but I guess the whole UAP in general. But before we continue, I would like to say that the Poste podcast is brought to you in cooperation with the United Architects of the Philippines Baraswain chapter, my home chapter, Jose's chapter, architect Albert's former chapter, and also brought to you in cooperation with the UAP Regional District A2a, to which, once again, Sir Albert is the district director of. Okay, so other than the day-to-day, that's just one of the duties of the UAP MANCOMM. They're also being the MANCOMM, being the president and the vice president. Am I right in saying that they also create the visions or the planning for the year as well as other consecutive years, Sir Albert?
For the past years, we are guided by what we call the long range plan.
Mm-hmm.
This was crafted many years before, and I think we are on our second 10-year term for our long range plan. So, uh, and we've committed the subsequent fiscal years or administrations of the UAP have committed themselves to follow this long range plan para hindi tayo nalilihis, so to
Mm.
speak, ng landas, ano. And these are yung tenets nito, di ba? The four
Yeah.
P's of the profession.
Yes.
The profession, ano nga ba yan? Professional product, the professional organization, and the professional. So, yung apat na piece na yon, may mga programs for them long term or long range,
Mm-hmm.
and then each administration should be concentrating on a particular portion of that plan. And then yung susunod sa kanya will follow up and so on and so forth.
So doon galing yung tipo ng tulad ni past National President Beth Ochoa, yung enjoin, ano nga ba yan? Tatlo yun eh. Doon
Enjoy,
empower,
engage,
enjoin.
empower,
Equip, empower,
equip.
enjoin.
Tapos kay
Actually, puro yan eh. Hanggang doon sa 2 terms niya, di ba? 2 terms kasi si Ma'am Beth.
Kay past National President Gimo naman, ano nga ba yun? Hindi ko na malala.
Transparency,
Accountability.
I think, accountability, di ba?
Accountability. Yung UAP yun eh.
UAP rin ba siya?
UAP.
Unity.
Last year, UAP din eh.
Unity, accountability, professional professional practice, I believe.
Ang ano dun is, the idea is, the organization is consistent. Or at least meron tayong trajectory that we want to achieve in terms of our long-term goals. No? So each administration will have their particular contribution in the achievement of those goals. So ngayon, of course, iba-iba lang yung mga focus.
Yes.
Okay lang yan.
Yung
Pero in turn, we are achieving it.
Yung kay NP Heray ngayon, member centered.
3. Member first.
Member first.
Noble leadership. And good governance.
Actually, the member first, that's actually what a lot of members are calling out for. Especially in the illegal practice, especially in the Jews. I mean, every organization is not without its fair share of hiccups and complaints. So naturally, meron din tayo niyan, may grievances din yung ating members niya, especially in this time of the pandemic, when marami sa atin tinamaan financially, and merong call to chapters ang national organization to have programs in which they will, or we as chapters will lower our fees, or perhaps waive the fees, or actually maganda yung sa district natin, yung parang bayanihan, in which kung sino ang mas may kaya, kung sino mas matibay, pangit naman sabihin mas matibay, pero sino mas may kaya, i-shoulder niya yung
sino yung mas nakakaluwag?
Mas nakakaluwag, i-shoulder niya yung national dues nung kasama niya. So at least pay for one, if we can, pay for 2, 3, or if not, the chapter itself will have have a program, a fundraising program, in which they will accommodate the fees, the national fees or the national duties of the member. And we'd like to welcome our National Treasurer, Architect Alfredo Gakutan. Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good evening.
sir.
Good evening. Narinig niyo ba ako?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Good evening, Didi Albert. Good evening, Pakoy.
Good evening, NT, Fred.
Joey, De Leon.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Salamat sa pagpunta dito at tinugon niyo yung invitation namin.
Man, matagal. Na-miss ko si Pakoy eh. Tagal kami dyan.
Oo nga, sir. Asan kayo ngayon, sir?
Nasa Cavite, kadarating lang. Galing sa bahay. Galing sa work. Kinabot ako ng traffic sa SLEX. Grabe. 3 hours.
Wow. Nagaganon ng traffic ngayon, ha?
Galing lang ako ng Cabuyao, Laguna. From here. Supposed to be mga 30-40 minutes lang eh. It took me 3 hours.
Is that normal traffic or is that more or less unusual for you?
Medyo unusual. Siguro mga 1.5 to 2 hours the usual traffic pag pauwi. This time 3 hours kanina, haba.
Pag mabuo na, sir, yung tulay na north to south, makakadalas ka ng bisita dito sa Bulacan.
Oo, siyempre.
Pakakainin ka namin ng maraming Bulacan sweets.
Chicharon sa San Miguel.
Oo, yun. Tsaka yung longganisa ng kalumpit. Iniisip ko palang bumabaho na hininga ko.
For the information of our viewers, si NT Fred is on his, tama ba? Third term as
Third term. Yeah.
third term as national treasurer. Sorry. And before that, sir, you were the Commission on Education.
Yeah, Executive Director of the
Executive
Commission
Director,
on
di ba?
Education for 2 years, and before that, the Area B Vice President during the time of NPBET.
Yes. Kayo ba, sir, meron kayong may plans kayo to go forward?
Hindi na. Last stop na to. Last stop na. Actually, wala naman talaga akong balak mag-third term, kaya lang napakusapan ni NP Rene eh. Kaya, si NP Rene hindi mahirap pahindian eh.
Oo nga. Oo nga.
Hindi yan. Actually, nagpaalam na nga ako sa kanila na I'm not running anymore. But, nakiusap eh. Wala, talagang mahirap eh. Ang hirap ng serbisyo sa UAP.
Oh, yeah.
Very demanding and taxing yung oras. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sino ba nakatunggalin nyo nung huling elections?
Nung last election, wala eh. Walang lumaban. Nung first term ko, wala rin lumaban. Second term, nagkami ni Menchi. Manalo.
Sir Menchi Manalo.
Yeah, oo.
Yes.
Yung sa amin naman ni Menchi, it's more of a friendly competition dahil close friend to si Menchi.
Yes.
Yeah, oo. Sabi ko nga, if ever na may tatalo sa akin, I would like to Menchi. Kasi alam ko na UAP will be in good hands with Menchi.
Actually, when it comes to elections, yun ang maraming, yun ang kadalasang namamali ng tao na tinatawag din ang kalaban. Pero dapat katunggali lang. Hindi mo nung kalaban yan, kaibigan mo yan eh.
We all want
Kami ni
to
Menchi
serve
naman nag-usap before eh. We've talked na maglalaban kami. We've talked na talagang hindi magbabago yung friendship namin. Okay pa rin naman kami.
Yes.
The guys are here. The guys in Barong are here.
Welcome na natin. Good evening. Let's welcome our National Secretary General, Architect Joey Manalad, and our National President, Architect Renato Heray. Sir Joey, good evening.
Good evening po.
Good evening.
Good evening, Sir SG.
Welcome to the Poste. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Poste podcast. And this is every Thursday po ang show natin with once every month na dinedicate na po natin sa district to speak on UAP matters. So in terms of the district cooperation, kayo po ang aming first guest. Actually, and this is our first show. So maraming salamat po na tinugunan niyo yung invitation namin.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, we apologize for entering a little bit late because we just came from the induction of UAP QC chapter. And pasensya na rin sa masyadong formal attire namin kasi as in kalalabas namin sa event nila.
Okay lang yun, sir.
Yeah.
Basta nakapantalon pa rin kayo sa baba. Okay lang yan.
Oh, yeah. Garantisado yun.
Si Sir Albert
Good
kasi
evening, Architect Jose, BB Albert, Architect Pacoy, and NT Fred. Magandang gabi po.
Yeah, magandang gabi. Architect Pacoy, BB Albert, Architect Jose.
Good evening po. Sir NT,
Magandang gabi.
Hindi na kami kumain sa QC event. Dumiretso na kami dito.
Wow, we're honored, sir. We're honored. Actually, sir, for tonight, as expected and as we've been publicizing, ang usapin ngayon for this episode of the Poste podcast is the corporate thrust of the current administration. So ito naman hindi as you can see, hindi naman to webinar, hindi rin to formal talk. Actually, kaya pwede kayong mag-relax, pwede kayong kung gusto yung humiga, okay lang. Medyo kukulitin lang namin kayo for tonight and hear your thoughts on different matters. Sir Albert?
Yes. First of all, muna tayo, mag-congratulate muna tayo sa QC chapter. QC chapter nga ba, Sir SG?
Meron pa isa.
Yes. Under induction.
And Manila Metro.
Manila
Yes.
Metro.
Manila Metro.
Induction season ngayon. So siguro halos every night may booking kayo, sir.
Yeah.
Complete 100% attendance kayo siguro, sir.
Isa nagsabay-sabay, tatlo. Oo.
Before po kayo nag-enter, Pacoy and Jose and I were talking about yung corporate trust natin and how you've been already explaining it also from the start, yung pre-planning natin ng July 4. Pero for this episode, we'd like to get more details siguro on how it can be implemented or kung paano yung mga programs talaga or mga detailed programs where we can really feel yung thrust na yon of member first, good governance and noble leadership. So if we may ask any one of you three how in the regular functions or in your duties as NP, SG, and NT, how would you interpret the corporate thrust and how it will affect your respective or your particular office?
Yeah.
Sir NP, if you may.
Yes. Thank you. Actually, ang corporate trust I think from the start, ginagawa na rin ng mga iba pang officers before us. Member first, marami na rin pong gumawa. Noble leadership and good governance. I know lahat po yan dream o di po ba, tinitingnan ng bawat maging officer at maging leader. Then, as I mentioned even before, speaking for myself, for now, experience, when I started to be a national officer sa part ni architect, ni past national president Dimoy Sancha, ang kanya more of unity, di po ba, na unity. Next is, dito po kay Bench Panganiban, happens to be promoting the profession. Then, so far with this one, so we discussed about this, the MANCOMM, we discussed, it's not only coming from me, I should say, but for the whole MANCOMM, Then, to craft the corporate trust. Discussion muna po kami niyan, then ito po yung lumabas, to tell you, ito yung lumabas, which is, maraming story yan, lalo si SG, yung story niya So noble leadership, good governance, and member first po, no? So I think one thing is like perhaps speaking about leadership. Leaders more of to lead, di ba, no? How can you lead without the members, or you should lead with the member, di po ba, no? So in order for you to lead, pumasok po dito maraming bagay like of course liability, trustworthy, respectable. To tell you all of these things, struggling din po kami dyan. Struggle to follow this, ano po, no? Of course, this trust. Masyado mataas po, tututusin. It's still a struggle, and with all sincerity, God willing, sundan maigi, and this is our trust. Makita lahat, may pamahagi sa lahat ng chapters, ano po, no? Sa lahat ng chapters, to be inspired by this trust, maging mas masundan, maging tulong-tulong lalo. Nagkaroon po timing sa panahon nitong pandemic na we have to take care of each member. Di po ba, no? We have to take care of each one. Each one is so important, each one so precious, especially the organization. That's why we're here to feel, siguro later on more of the details na.
Yes, thank you, MP.
Yes.
I'd just like to add, the trust of noble leadership, good governance, and member first. Through the podcast, allow us to declare that we are not saying there's no noble leadership in the past, nor there was no good governance in the past, and members were not prioritized in the past. We are not saying that, but this is more of the three core highlights of NP René's leadership. So it all came from his ideas, actually. So informally, we were discussing what is the concept of his leadership, at doon nabuo yan. And therefore, kasi we've heard other comments like, bakit wala bang noble leadership dati? Wala bang good governance natin? So, let it be clear that that is not the intention or the aim of the trust. But instead, we are highlighting all these three in as a reflection of the character of the national president. He said, service is the heart of his leadership. So, doon yan nabuo. And for me, for example, you were mentioning how we interpret this in our respective works, no? I realized that this is the 30th day of all of us in office, no? Being sworn in June 30, and we have to say in the secretariat, of course, there are lots of things to be evaluated and assessed, no? So that we could be able to provide the kind of service that we have committed. So, meaning, kung tutuusin, the Office of the Secretary General is the frontliner. Okay, because we receive all the inquiries, we receive all, sabihin na natin, complaints, we receive all the criticisms, we receive all the blows. Okay. And blows, Mr. Albert. And I am learning to be more and more patient about all this, because I've mentioned this to the NBD and to the chat group that we are all in this together, and we appreciate all the criticisms, because the constructive criticisms actually make us stronger and be able to deliver the promise of noble leadership, good governance, and member first to UAP. So, ang secretariat po, tulong-tulong. Natutuwa po ako sa buong secretariat team, and because they are cooperating with the changes and the improvements that NP Heray is requesting all of them to do, and I execute it based on his suggestions, no? So I salute the secretariat, all of them, for cooperating, because sabi ko nga, this is not just the works of the architects, but they are stakeholders also in the organization, being the frontliners. So ano po, unti-unti po yan, we will be seeing more and more improvements. We are trying to professionalize our service, and we are still open. No? We are not saying do not criticize the work that we do, but please do it in the most professional, the gentlest way possible, because we are not enemies, you know. We all help assist and build a better UAP. Yun po. So yeah, that's at least for me as the SecGen.
Yes.
Ako sir, may question about members first.
Yeah,
Yung bang ating member first, was that formulated before or perhaps during the heat of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Hindi naman siya, well, mas lalo lang na highlight. Because NP, with or without the pandemic, NP is known to be a CSR person.
Yes.
So the you know, reaching out to people is more heartfelt. No? Kung iba natutulungan, how much more ang members? Parang ganun yung feeling NP.
Kaya nga sir, every hosting job na ginawa ko sa UAP with NP Heray as guest, ang sigaw ng bayan, hep hep!
Yes.
Ayaw sumagot ng mga kasama ko eh.
Nakamute ako. Sumagot ako kasi nakamute.
Tanongin naman natin si NT Fred regarding how he interprets the corporate trust into his duties as the national treasurer also.
Okay, thank you.
Any
No,
friend?
thank you. Actually, I would like to reiterate first yung sinabi ni SG Joe, yung noble leadership, good governance, and member first. No? Doesn't mean na past administrations wala silang concern sa ganyan. No? Meron lang kanya-kanyang byline or tagline yung mga past national presidents. No? I've served ilang past national presidents na, and I see naman the sincerity for them to serve the members, no. And yung member first na yan, actually hindi pa ganong nagbabalak tumakbo si MP Rene as NP. Madalas kami nag-uusap. Sabi nga niya, if ever na talagang tatakbo siya, ang talagang pagtutuunan niya ng pansin yung welfare ng members.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi nandun yung puso niya kasi ano yan he's a guy na talagang siguro pinanganak siya para tumulong yun yung tingin ko sa kanya. I've been friends, we've been friends ni NP Rene for a very long time, no? We've gone through a lot together. Talagang magkakilala kami niyan. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina nung pinakausapan niya ako, again, on the third term as National Treasurer, nung una talagang nagpaalam na ako sa kanya, nagpaalam na ako kay SG Joey, kay NP Benji, na talagang, pahinga na, magre-retiro na ako sa UAP. Kaya lang, nung sabi ng NP, Rene, ngayon pa ba naman ako iiwan? Sa lahat ng journey ko sa UAP, ikaw ang kasama ko, tapos iiwan mo ako. Ngayon, nandito na ako. Hindi na ako nakatanggi. Talagang kinonsensya na ako, no? Yun, as far as the role of NT dun sa trust naman ng current administration ngayon, nothing much will be changed kasi nga I've been very very consistent naman ako dun sa application ng financial policy, no? ng UAP, no? Very strict sa pag-release ng funds without in any, kahit anong pondo yan, no? Pagka hindi kumpleto ang documentation, talagang hindi ko naman nilalabas. To the point na marami nang nagtampo at nga kasalukuyan nagtatampo pa rin dahil sinasabi nila hindi ko raw kagad mailabas yung nire-request na budget. But kasi ang thinking ko lagi, hindi ko naman pera yan pera ng general membership yan. So ang ko ngayon, basta kumpleto lang ang documents, no? Basta kompleto ang documents, may release naman natin yan. Dapat lang kasi dyan, sound fiscal management eh. Ang pera ng UAP hindi naman din gano'ng kalaki at malaki rin naman ang gastos. So we prioritize things. We prioritize kung paano lalabas yung pera. We prioritize kung paano i-issue yung cheque. Hindi pwedeng kasing sabay-sabay ma-release yan dahil mawawala naman tayo ng revolving fund. No? Ganun kahirap, no? Although kahit mahirap, yun lang ma-feel mo na nakapag-serbisyo ka sa UAP, nakapag-serbisyo ka sa general membership, is more than enough, no? Para magtuloy-tuloy. Ayun nga, dami nga nagtataka, dami nagtatanong, ano ba napapala nyo sa UAP at nagsiservisyo kayo? Wala kayong sweldo, no? Ubus ang oras ninyo. At the end of the day, at the end of your term, galit sa inyong asawa nyo. Diba? Diba, Enfrene? Si Joey, malamit na rin yung malaman niya. Marami na rin yung ma-feel. Lalo na ako, third term ko, talagang the problems are so much na talagang talagang sometimes you just want to give up eh. Kaya lang pag inalala mo paano ang UAP. Diba?
Yes, sir.
Yun eh. Actually, yung sinabi nga ni SG kanina, yung constructive criticism makes you strong. Sa akin, ganun din. Constructive criticism makes me strong. Destructive criticism makes me stronger. It makes me stronger to prove to them, to all of you, na I'm here for service. Wala akong ibang gustong gawin dito. Volunteer tayong lahat. Nagsasakripisyo tayong lahat. So, lahat naman tayo magtatrabaho based on what was approved by the National Board. Yun lang naman eh. Basta mayroong board resolution at sinabi ng National Board, ganito ang gawin nyo, yun lang naman gagawin natin. Pag wala sa National Board dyan, hindi ko gagawin yan. Basta manghingi ka ng budget, kahit very noble yung project mo, pag hindi in-approve ng National Board dyan, pasensyahan tayo. And alam ni NP rin na yan, alam ni SG Joey yan. And even NEVP Dondon, alam nila yan. Ginawa ko yan kay NP Bench. Sabi ko sa kanya, pagka wala sa National Board dyan, pa-approve mo muna. Kung hindi, pasensyahan tayo. Kaya marami nagalit sa akin. Didi Albert, ang dami nagalit sa akin na mga executive directors, committee chairs, no? Even up to now, I even received a tagline na don't be like Fred. Hashtag don't be like Fred. No?
Ganun, sir.
Ang bigat. Ang bigat. Pero
Magaling yan, Didi Albert.
Hindi sa akin galing yan.
Hindi galing kay Albert yan. Magaling na rin niya na, ano na rin siya thankful din ako dahil wala akong Facebook. Hindi ko nababasa. Di ba? Yun lang naman. Anyway, gano'n sound fiscal management is still the key para maging maayos yung fiscal management ng UAP. And I will be very, very strict again pagdating sa UAP financial policy. Just like what I did the last 2 years, ganun pa rin. Magiging consistent din ako. Kasi mahirap naman yung may papanigang ka, may kakampihan ka, no? Actually, sa last 2 years ko nga, mas marami nagalit sa aking kaibigan ko eh. Dahil akala nila, mas mapapadali yung pag-request nila ng pondo.
Porque kaibigan.
Mas pahihirapan ko sila. Ganun lang naman yun. So, yun lang. Yung thinking ko, sound fiscal management pa rin is the answer. No? Prioritizing kung paano mo gagastusin yung pera. No? Napakahirap ng role ng National Treasurer. Napakahirap. Na hindi ko na in-expect na ganyan pala kahirap yan.
Mas mahirap ba, sir, as compared nung National Auditor kayo?
Ano?
Nung National Auditor?
Oo.
Kung titimbangin nyo, mas mabigat?
Kasi ang National Auditor, wala siyang minamanage na pera eh. Ako, yung National Treasurer, yung manage the spending eh. Yun eh. Siya more on checking kung tama ba yung pag-spend eh. Yun yung kanya eh.
Kumbaga, the eyes are on the treasurer.
Mas mahirap.
The eyes are on the treasurer.
Yung National
Maraming matang nakatingin sa'yo. Kumbaga.
Ano?
Maraming matang nakatingin.
Marami. Actually, all the eyes of the general membership nakatingin sa'yo eh. Yun eh. Kaya nga, sa akin naman, sanayan lang din siguro, talagang ganun. Accept it as it comes, then just do your work. At the end of the day, makikita naman nila kung you're doing well or you're doing bad. Ganun lang yun. You cannot please everybody, di ba? You cannot please everybody.
That's true.
I'll just do my job. I'll just do my job as a national treasurer, then so be it. Bahala na kung ano mangyari. Yun lang yun.
Okay, before we move further, nais nating batiin lahat ng mga nag-tune in. Ang dami nating members of the UAP who are tuning in right now, listening to our conversation. Well, if you just tuned in, you are watching the Poste podcast with me, Architect Pocoyanyag, with our district director, Architect Albert Dumlao, si Architect Jose de Leon, and our guest for the night is Architect Alfredo Gakutan, our national treasurer, Architect Jonathan Manalad, our Secretary General, and Architect Renato Heray, of course, our national president.
Yes, Pakoy. Thank you. Kanina nabanggit ni Sir NT yung mga na takeaways ko doon sa sinabi niya regarding service talaga yung ginagawa natin sa UAP. And especially of course itong mga national officers natin in the MANCOMM. Talagang ang laki ng responsibilidad na nakaatang sa kanilang mga balikat. And also nabanggit din ni NT yung fiscal management is really a hallmark of what good governance is, no?
Mm-hmm.
Matanong ko lang, Sir NT, I think yung sa fiscal management, it applies to the whole organization, ano? Tama ba? When I say that?
Yeah.
From all levels, from the national
From all levels.
down to the committees, to the districts, and to the chapters. Ang ano ko lang kasi sir, again another question, and I think it was also raised in one of our pre-planning sessions. Yung mga ibang horror stories ng mga chapters natin na parang hindi nagkakaroon ng proper turnover between one administration to the next. For example, yung chapter president. Tapos pagdating doon, nagpalit na ng chapter president, wala nang funds yung yung chapter. Tapos wala silang paper trail kasi walang bank account, walang mga ganon. And I think it was raised, NCSC Joey yata ang nakasagot ng tanong na yun. Ako rin personally in our district, gusto ko rin mag-open ng bank account for the district. So for the benefit of everyone, yung mga nakikinig sa ating mga chapters, how do we go about yung process na yun? And how can the national, ano yung mga responsibilities ng chapters to the national, and also how can the national assist the chapters in terms of their fiscal management?
Yeah, actually, as far as opening yung mga bank accounts, the district accounts, chapter accounts, the UAP National is more than willing to help. No? Kasi nga, marami na-require na document yan coming from the national. And naka-ready naman na yan sa Finance Department. Yung mga papers na yan, whenever you ask for supporting documents na needed para makapag-open ng account, bibigay na yan ng national, ng Finance Office. Ang problem lang kasi, ganito sa bylaws kasi natin walang direct supervision ng National Treasurer sa mga chapters. Wala even when I was the Vice President for Area B, we tried to make the chapters submit financial report to the national. Kaso nga wala sa bylaws Yun ang natin doon.
Are we looking to amend the bylaws to include that?
Right now naman we are into amending the bylaws naman di ba? Sa bylaws committee. Siguro we can add that para magkaroon ng ngipin magkaroon ng yung National Treasurer. sa finance matters ng mga district and chapters. In district, ano pa yes, meron pa kasi we provide capacity building funds to the district directors That's why we have control over them. Ang problem yung sa local chapters. Much that we would like to help them yung sa problem. Perennial problem yun, Didi Albert yung transfer of documents, funds from one administration to another at the chapter level. Ang daming problem talagang ganyan, no? Pag gusto makialam ng national,
wala
May
magawa.
resist-
yung mga good for Alec na incoming outgoing treasurers, sasabihin wala naman kayong jurisdiction sa sa nasa chapters. Wala nga kayong binibigay na pera sa chapters bakit nyo kami bakit nyo kami susupervise, di ba? Which is meron man silang point. Yun ang problem. Dapat talaga there should be a direct link between the UAP National Treasurer and the chapter treasurers. Dapat may reporting yan. We tried
Sir,
that
if I may,
before.
I'm looking at the UAP bylaws of 2009. One of the functions kasi ng chapter treasurer, ewan ko kung tama itong tinitignan ko. Pero ang nakalagay dito, one of the functions of the chapter treasurer is to render monthly report to the chapter members and to the national treasurer regarding the receipt and disbursements of funds and their amounts under his or her responsibility. So, I think, sir, when we read this responsibility of the chapter treasurer, ayun na yung direct link. Kasi nire-require siya talaga to render our monthly report. Kaya, kami po sa Area A, last week, we did a series of orientation seminars for secretary, auditor, and treasurer. And ito rin po yung isa sa issue kasi may resistance talaga from the chapters.
Meron talaga.
So,
May resistance sa kanila
Ang nakalagay naman na dapat talaga sila mag-report sa national treasurer. And siguro we just want to assure them kasi ang mga sinasabi nila medyo mahirap daw gawin and yun nga bakit daw nakikialam ang national. Pero we assure them naman na it's for their own benefit also that may mga records na ganon. Kasi nga, if for example may mga disputes in the future, they can go to national and may mga records there of their financial reports para makita rin na, ito yung nangyari nung time na yan. So siguro sir, tulong-tulong tayo doon in that regard. Kami sa Area A, and particularly my district, may resistance pa rin, pero siguro we just have to convince the chapters that it is for their own benefit.
Actually, sir, medyo confused ako dun kasi sinabi niyo no jurisdiction. Pero in terms of my chapter, Barasuin chapter, kami kasi nagbukas kami ng account with the secretary, the SecCert na galing from UAP National. Hindi kami pinayagan ng bangko na magbukas on the kung anumang papers ang dala namin na sa amin lang. Naghanap sila ng SecCert, ng ano ba hiningi sa atin doon, Jose?
SEC, registration ng national bylaws.
Before we continue, I'd like to welcome National Executive Vice President. Ang idol ko, ang idol nyo, ang idol ng lahat. Si Architect Don de Guzman.
Yun.
Good evening, sir.
Idol talaga.
Good evening, sir.
Idol.
Thank you. Good evening. Everybody, sorry I was late kasi na-induction. Nauna lang sila, NP konti.
Yeah. Good evening po.
So yes, sir.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Back to what I was saying. Doesn't that warrant enough of a jurisdiction na kahit na wala sa bylaws natin, pero doesn't it warrant enough of a jurisdiction na siguro mas meron tayong control with that?
Yeah, actually, yung jurisdiction na yun, it's more on administrative function ng national. to provide documents to the chapter eh. Kasi ang nangyayari nga, ang laging sinasabi kasi ng chapter, wala naman kayong wala naman kayong direct contribution dun sa funds ng chapter. Bakit nyo kami i-audit? Ba't kami magsasabit ng report sa inyo? Kahit nakalagay pa yan dun sa ang sa bylaws na kailangan magre-report sila eh. At least reporting lang eh. Yun ang nakalagay dyan eh. Ang problem nga yung sinasabi ni Albert, yung resistance. Kasi nga sa laging sinasabi, hindi naman kayo humingi ng sponsorship sa amin eh. Kami. Hindi naman kayong kami. Ba't nyo sisistahin yung pera namin? Which is maling yun eh. Maling reasoning yun.
Kasi it was done in the name of UAP.
Yun ang gusto kong yun ang gusto kong ma-curb, no? Yun sana ang gusto ko rin ma-curb, no? I think with the Albert right now is here with the initiative of the Area A. We can move forward and go ahead dun sa monthly reporting na yan eh. Nang para once and for all, matulungan natin yung mga chapters pagdating sa turnover of administration na. Kasi alam nyo ba, there's one chapter, hindi ko nasasabihin, in Manila. After ng turnover, up to now, meron silang kaso, nagdemandahan yung past president tsaka yung current president eh. Dahil because of money matters.
Yun ang dapat sana maiiwasan natin.
Kaya nga eh. Much that we would like to, we talk to that chapter president. Kaya talagang sabi niya, sir, paano naman yung namin? Ganito, gano'n, no? Sabi ko, sige, pag-usapan niyo within the chapter, if anything na we can help. Actually, the best thing that we were able to do is yung ma-provide yung check accommodation records. Kasi lahat ng check pumapasok sa doon meron kaming records noon. Yung pumapasok na mga cheque sa mga chapters na pondo coming from the sponsors. Meron naman noon. Available naman yun. And we can provide yung as far as check accommodation records is concerned. And marami ng chapter po nang hingi ng gano'n. And we provide. Nagbibigay naman po kami. Marami na pong chapter na nanghihingi ng gano'n. Dahil nga, they're checking kung talagang yung turnover sa kanila nung past administration, tama. Base ron sa pumasok na pera. Meron naman records nun. Intact naman yung records na yun. Kaya nga lang, if you want to request it, just give us a couple of weeks. Dahil nga, nire-reconstruct yun eh. Dahil every year, nilalagay sa storage, so ang dami talaga. If you'll, makita nyo lang yung pag pumipirma ako ng cheque on a weekly basis, para sa check accommodation, yung isang ring ng papel na gano'n, nakakapal, kulang eh. Sa kapal ng cheque. Oo. Grabe. Grabe talaga.
Medyo
just yesterday, about 3 inches thick of checks, inirmahan ko. Check accommodation ng mga chapters yun.
Nakakasulat pa ba kayo pagkatapos nun?
Ang hirap. Ang hirap. Minsan nga yung pirma, ewan ko kung paano nalalaman ng bangko yun. Minsan nagkakapare-pareho eh.
Naiiba na yung pirma mo. Nangangawit ka na.
Oo, pero honor naman. Wala naman nagre-reklamo ng chapter so far. So ganun lang, siguro with the initiative of the Albert and the Area A, magkatulungan tayo with regards to yung sa supervision natin, financial supervision ng national sa mga chapter level. Ano sana natin, mabawasan yung resistance. Yun lang naman eh.
Tama.
Yun ang talagang ayaw nila eh. Ewan ko ba, pagdating sa pera, talagang ayaw nagpapa-inspect eh.
Ayaw magre-report.
Sa national, anything, tingnan nyo, pwede naman. Ganun din naman dapat sa local chapters. No? Sige,
Paladalayin po natin para hindi sila masyadong mag-resist.
Let's work on it. Work together, paano natin magawa yan. No?
Opo. Thank you po, NT. Si Sir Don naman ang tanongin natin. Sir NEVP, before you came in, we were talking about how we have the corporate trust of member first, good governance, and noble leadership, and how the different offices of the MANCOMM, how they interpret it being implemented under their own offices. So if we may ask the NEVP dun sa iyong nasasakupan, medyo kasi you are the executive arm of the UAP, 'di ba? Maraming mga commissions and standing committees under you. Saan natin makikita yung yung thrust na yan for this fiscal year?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Albert. First of all, Don de Guzman left the conversation.
medyo mahirap na itanong.
Yeah. And then actually, yung mga projects, I have to say this first, no. First and foremost, I have to say I'm very proud of this MANCOMM kasi now the term of the national president, kaming apat na MANCOMM, we always talk about things, everything. So everything is being aligned. So we have 4 heads working together, even if it's not our commission. And right now, the commission under the NEVP, I have to say, di ba? I'm proud to say, we call them the Pito-Pito Gang. Di ba? So let's put it this way, kasi pito yung English natin. So we keep it simple, we keep it happy. And at the same time, syempre, of course, we produce results. Right now, as we speak, yung mga programs na binigay, bibigyan ko lang ng sample. Halimbawa, sentro ng arkitekturang Pilipino. One of the things that we are keeping up with the times na project ng sentro is actually to create virtual tours of architectural heritage houses and everything. So these are projects that are, I would say laudable for everybody,
Yes.
even at the cost of your own, di ba? You would see all of this very historical. You would have this sense of history on everything, di ba? Then second, bigyan ko lang kayo sample. Samples lang medyo madaldal ako, pigilin niyo ako pag medyo mahaba na. Kasi 7 yung commission di ba? Tapos may mga 8 ron under na committee, so 7 times 8, di ba? So ilan yun? So anyway, let's say halimbawa sa CIA, ang CIA right now is of course they're pursuing, we are all targeting on how to reach our members. That's the trust of the national president and the MANCOMM. So of course with this pandemic, we are keeping up at the same time. We are building the library, of course. But of course, iba na yung trend ng library ngayon. It's gonna be an e-library. And at the same time, we're gonna create a communications room. Wherein, the Zoom with the Secretary General, Zoom with the National President, the Kumustans, and all. This is actually reaching all the way down to the members. So that's one thrust of the CIA naman, di ba? The PDC, right now, as we speak, the whole year, lahat yan naka-schedule na lahat ng program ng PDC, di ba? And right now, as we speak, the commissions, all the 7 commissions, we have this parang principle. We call it the Fusion Commission. So what we do is we really talk about all the projects and we collaborate. We really collaborate. Talagang ang nangyayari sa amin is, labas ka ng project, we call it the PDC. Actually, this was coined by the then NEVP and past SecGen and etc. Laura Rivera. It used to be DPCC, which is DDPC, delay, defer, prioritize, and cancel. So, kasi we have to be realistic about what's happening right now. Now we coined it into PDC, the prioritize, the delay, and cancel. Yung mga projects ng UAP. Di ba? So, ang nangyayari niyan, even amongst ourselves, we prioritize talaga what's in there for the members. Another project pa nga ng CIA is actually the welfare talaga. Particularly, how do we help our members? Di ba? Paano yung mga insurance policies yan or whatsoever. So, reaching out to our members in abroad. Yan yung mga tinitingnan natin. Kasi, pag natinig niyo yung mga storya ng mga members natin, particularly yung mga nasa abroad, it's really, it's really bad. We have to help. Kaya nga I laud the Area A through Albert Den and Area Vice President Alfred. Kalimutan ko pa, kumpare ko yun. Pero, so, yung group na yan, they have, they have this member sagot. Ano tawag doon, pare? I forgot eh. Member sagot something, di ba? So of course, di ba, not all architects are... Yes. Not all architects are okay, di ba? We have to say na kung meron ka namang extra, why not you pay for another friend, architect or whatsoever? Kahit na biruin mo, babayaran mo yung kanya, pero bayaran mo, at least you're helping. We are the ones, we should be united on this. And I think everybody should agree that we should be united in helping each other right now. Some people are, I would say, too proud to admit what their stature is right now. But, reach out to a friend, di ba? Call a friend or whatsoever, di ba? Send smoke signs, send mga pigeons or whatsoever, just to communicate with our co-members. Another project, pare, pigilin niyo ako hindi ako tumitigil.
Sir, if I may cut you, other than yung binanggit niyo about area A VP, what exactly are we doing for yung mga members natin abroad? Dahil I just heard this week, marami yung, for example, yung sa Shanghai, yung, I think Shanghai chapter na rin sila, marami sa kanila umuwi over Christmas and got grounded here, tas hindi na nakaalis, hindi na sila nakabalik sa Shanghai. In fact, a lot of them, kung meron mang ipon, napunta na lang sa yung, kasi of course you've lived there 10 years, you have things that you bought that are still in your flat and you still keep paying for your flat, so syempre nagastos na rin yun tapos ngayon either mawawalan pa sila ng trabaho or hindi sila makakabalik, and everything goes. What are we doing? Of course, I'm sure hindi lang sa Shanghai nangyari yun, but I'm sure it happened with other countries as well. How are we addressing that?
Sure. Okay. First, I would like to give you a little background on what's happening. The MANCOMM, particularly this group of people, I would say wonderful people. Yan, nasisip-sip ako sa inyong tatlo. Pero we keep communicating, particularly to our co-members abroad. Diba? We talk to them, we get to know what they're feeling, ano talaga yung mga kailangan nila, whatsoever. Now, let's traverse that to the group ng PropRack, headed by Richard Garcia naman. PropRack naman, right now, as we speak, is they're trying to make a sort of, I would say, may tawag kami ron I forgot the name. No? Parang, it's more of a network diba? Kasi what we can do right now is we have to network everybody, particularly people from abroad. Pag dumating dito, ang gagaling yan, sobra. And these are the people who are good at presentations, they have their own expertise or whatsoever. All we need to do is let them into a network. And that network, di ba, that's one way of helping each other. Di ba? Kasi hindi lang ako nagbigay ng pera sa'yo. Binigyan kita ng trabaho. Karoon ako ng trabaho na maayos, di ba? Nabigyan kita ng trabaho. So those kind of things. That's what we need to do And actually, the national president answer na syempre pag may mga financial na tayo, what do you call this? Financial support. Diba? Right now, as we speak, the MANCOMM is actually really realigning a few portions of that on how to address these kind of things. One of the address is actually to really ask Albert Dumlao to shell out money muna kung ano as we speak, right, we have to say that, if we want to help, if we want to help, let's say,
Sir, excuse me, could you mute the cell phone, please?
May nag-echo.
Paki-mute yung
Nag-echo yata.
audio.
May nag-echo, pare. Kanina.
Either sa'yo or kay...
Pare, wala ako.
Nakamute na yung phone or laptop.
Yan, wala na. Okay na.
Yun.
Oh, pare, gumanda yung boses ko bigla. Pare, may echo Pwede sana ako kumanta. Render ako ng song.
May keyboard saka dito.
Para yun na lang gawin natin dito. At least part of, part of member first yan. You have to give enjoyment to people. Diba? Ganun dito.
Meron kami, may project
anyway.
na ganyan.
See? Alam mo, ganito guys if you have a chance, and I plea to all who are, kung meron nakikinig dito or whatsoever, try to reach out to all of our, friends, diba? Would you believe na even a small tap at the back or a small kumusta to them is a big help, diba?
Yeah.
That's what we need to do as members, diba? Ang problem kasi natin, lagi natin thinking, ito yung mangyayari. We are Pinoys. We are very resilient. But what we need is actually a good friend who would give us a tap at the back that everything is gonna be okay. Kahit ikaw kahit hindi arkitekto di ba? Yun lang ang kailangan mo right now. Kasi the key now is actually to just survive. Di ba? We have to survive this pandemic. And of course, UAP, di ba? Sa initiative pa nga ng tingnan niyo yung initiative ni Alfred Carandang. Sabi niya, NT, di ba, may parang capacity building fund or whatsoever. He's trying to, trying to find his way around it on how to use it to help other members. Those kind of things, we can be very creative with our projects. We don't need projects who would make us put our names in billboards. We don't need those kind of projects. Diba? We don't need to announce that we are helping people. But ang point lang now is, to really, be straight. Yeah, be straight. Kung meron tayong mga ganitong pondo sa UAP, even executive commissions right now as we speak, that's what we do. Tinitingnan namin is, mas makakatulong ba to? Ang tutulungan ba nito yung building natin na nandun, na pwedeng maghintay yung pagpapaayos ng ganitong floor or whatsoever, o ito may kailangan ngayon. So ganun na nagiging trust ng mga executive directors, di ba? Then another thing, si Jaya naman, the government and external affairs, recently we just had a meeting with the then national president, Boy Roldan. I won't divulge what we met about. I think we're doing well. We're doing well on this. And syempre baka may nakikinig sa akin na rito na hindi ARCH pare. Mahirap isabihin 'yan, di ba? So kasi right now as we speak, medyo maganda yung movements ng CJA and they are very active. Sino pa bang nasa committee? NP, naubos ko na ba yung mga committee? Hindi pa. COMED, yeah. Katulad ng COMED, di ba? Yung link ng right now, they're trying to prioritize those projects na magli-link yung education. May bridge kasi yan na hindi nalilink sa practice tsaka yung education Ako nga, for example, di ba? Admittedly, nung nag-board exam ako, nung nagre-review ko ng board exam, siguro mga 3/4 ng nire-review ko sa board exam, pare hindi ko nadaanan sa school So those kind of things, di ba? So we have to address that. And at the same time, from the education alone, just like in Japan, what they do on the first few years of a kid is actually values formation. What we need to do is actually from the school alone pa lang, di ba? Medyo mataas na ng teaching natin about ethics or whatsoever. So we have to imbibe that di ba? Tapos magugulat tayo, di ba? Ang nangyayari kasi diyan, pag akit ng mga yon, sasabihin, bakit si architect so and so ganito ginagawa? Hindi ko na rin gagawin 'yan. But kung matindi ang foundation mo as an architect, di ba? In time, there's gonna be a transition of the attitude of architects in the Philippines. So yun yung mga everything is of course, di ba, we have to start somewhere. But we are starting. The important thing is to take the first step. Sino pa hindi ko natawag? NT. Ang dami ko yatang ComEd, Convention. Ayan ang pinakamaganda, yung convention. Good luck. Anyway. Yeah, pagdating sa convention, kanina actually, we had a talk with PR BOA chair. I won't divulge again what we talked about, but it's a good avenue and a chance for UAP to really upgrade the platform subscription to as high as
naghang si NEVP.
Wala ba?
Nawala, naghang siya.
Masyado tayo suspense.
Balik tayo kay
Suspense.
ano siguro. Ayun na.
Hindi, si NP yata yung nagsalta eh.
Sige. Habang hinihintay natin si NEVP bumalik, siguro yung ipagpatuloy natin yung point na dinidiscuss ni NEVP regarding the committees, mabalik po tayo kay National President. Kasi sa National President, we have special committees under the Office of the National President. So, Sir NP, for this fiscal year, ano yung sa tingin yung mga committees, special committees under your office that will be at the forefront of implementing the corporate thrust?
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, andyan si Don, si NEVP.
Hello?
Maybe
Ayan.
Wala ako.
Sige,
Wala ako.
Yan,
Yes.
yan, wala ako.
Balik na.
Hindi, ang totoo niyan, talagang minulot ako ni Albert. Nakalot ako.
Hindi.
Yan. Yung tatlo yan, si Jose, si Albert, ako. Ganyan yan. Imumute na yan. Pag masyado ko na madalpal. Okay. Pare, nasa na ako? Convention, di ba? Yun nga, nagkaroon
Sige, may hanging question ako kay NP. Sige, tuloy mo na.
Sige. Okay, de pare, ganito na lang. Masyado na ako, I'm taking too much of the time, pare. Pare, please let the President say his piece. Sorry, NP. Go ahead.
Hindi, tuloy
Thank
mo
you,
lang
pare.
sa convention. Sige, yung convention. We're interested. Kasi yung mass gathering, actually, tatanong ko rin kay NP to kasi as a national organization, siguro, ewan ko kung what our policy is regarding mass gatherings, especially in this context na wala pang nakikitang vaccine in sight, di ba? So how will that affect yung Commission on Conventions and yung mga events natin, at least for the next 6 months or the whole year?
Ako, I think we have another year to go.
Ako ba sasagot o si NP pa?
Kahit sino.
Hindi, since kahit sino si NP or ako, pare, si NT na lang sasagot.
Hindi po, NP.
Hindi, pare, sa akin, pare, yung conventions, actually, under the leadership of Tony Valdez, actually, he's very aggressive. Let's put it in that context. No? He's very aggressive with the research and everything or whatsoever. Kaya lang, syempre, we have to mitigate around the problem. Pero the good thing about it, ang dami niyang research na present namin on how to hold talaga big gatherings. But one of the most important thing here is actually the protocol. The protocol on social distancing and whatsoever. Yan ang mga tinitignan But let's admit, guys, wala namang ano rito, di ba? Let's admit, ang nangyayari naman yan, katulad yung mga sa ABS-CBN or whatsoever, ang naka-protocol lang, pare, nasa harap ng camera Pare, yung mga cameraman nandun, nagkwekwentuhan, kumakain ng puto It's always the case, di ba? So, importante lang dito is we maximize this online platform, di ba?
Yes.
Na talagang, as much as possible, limit all of these people, di ba? Na magsama-sama until a vaccine can be found. So, yun ang nakikita ko. Very naman ang conventions. They are very, forgive the conventions, di ba? Marami silang syempre nagiging kasi everything is new. Everything is new with the new normal Lahat naman tayo nangangapa Minsan nga nakalimutan minsan nga nung inaugural, nung nakita ko ni Tita Yoli after a long while, munti kami mag-akap Oh my gosh, di ba? Teka muna, huwag tayo mag-akap, di ba? Di ba? Patay tayo dyan, something like that. So again, we are still it's in infancy yung pagiging normal di ba? Yon. So yun lang. NP, baka you want to add something? Ang dal-dal ko na rito.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you, Didi. Okay, for the special projects of the National President, first, siguro yung perhaps I want to share about the emergency architects. With the emergency architects, hopefully magkaroon ng isang project. If you see the yung namin about the what's this, the hygiene kit, di ba, na binigay sa San Andres Quarantine Facility. These are asymptomatic patients. Nung unang pumunta kami doon, nung unang nag-aya yung director pagdating doon, nagpapatulong lang para sa isang shelter nila na kasi mainit. Kaya lang, pagdating ko doon, ay tawag dito, hindi na pwede kasi may dalawa ng pasyente. Hindi na pinapasok. Then nagkakwentuhan, then natuwa kami nag-request sila ng hygiene kit. And to tell you, this is from the COVID labanan fund. Yun ang binigay natin. Walang ibang sponsor, kundi definitely it's UAP. UAP yun. Then, pagbalik ulit, tumawag ulit yung doktora, lumalaki ang COVID patients sa Manila. Yung dating dalawa, it turned out to be 35, lumaki na. Then ngayon, it might be a full-blown dito sa part ng San Andres. And so we seek the assistance of emergency architects. With the support of Architect Boy Roldan, nagbigay siya ng yung mga materyales. So hopefully makakatulong tayo doon. Perhaps next is this is in line also with Bayanihan Arkitektura. And to tell you, we are focusing on two major points naman, two major points, internal and external. Internal is the welfare. Here you can see member first. Member first. It's all internal. So we're working on the welfare. I think the CIA is very much dito, but with our NEVP. Then the external naman is get an architect. Di ba? Dalawa yan eh. Kasi hindi ko pwede gamitin sa external yung member first, di ba? Kasama mo yung mayor, tapos member first. Malay niya doon sa member first. Tayo na nakakaintindi nun, that's for UAP. External is get an architect. This is in line with that RA 9266, di ba? With the task force, ito na yun. These are external and internal. So arrange po yan, dalawang yan. Then what else? Ano pa ba? Tuloy-tuloy po yung iba. I think they very active ngayon ng it's a special committee. Then we will have we will have of course a separate meeting with the special committees. That's it for now.
Just like to add,
Yes.
What NP actually is trying to communicate also is, others kasi were asking, are you already dropping Get an Architect campaign? No, we are not. No, because part of the sustainability of our campaign is to proceed and in fact make it even stronger. No, so that is the external thrust. No, to still pursue our campaign because we still have a fight, that the so-called fight versus asserting our right to practice architecture in our profession. Now, the internal campaign is actually those that will matter for the members. That's why yung noble leadership, good governance, and member first, particularly member first, is the internal campaign. Atin yon. So we are not dropping Get an Architect campaign. We are in fact reinforcing it and strengthening it because that's our external campaign. And member first is our internal campaign amongst the members.
Actually, sir, I have a question regarding that. Is anyone in the MANCOMM, or is there any committee in the UAP who will go forward with yung ginawang efforts ni past National President Benj with regards to going to different LGUs para kausapin and i-enforce or promote 9266?
Yes. Allow me to answer it, Pakoy, no? Yung campaign na yan, we are so thankful that past President Boy Roldan actually accepted the chairmanship of Task Force 9266. No, he has presented the master plan how we could pursue this legislative agenda. In the MANCOM, nakakatuwang pakinggan yung master plan na yan. Prinesent niya sa Execom. And in the regular NBD on August 15, that's going to be presented in the National Board of Directors. Why? Because that master plan actually involves everyone, down to the grassroots, down to the very simple, basic member of a regular chapter. Tutulong sila doon sa ating campaign, and it's a very nice, well thought of campaign. We really have to give our hats off to PNP Boy-Roldan for spearheading this. Ang ganda po nung but of course, as NEVP Don mentioned, we are not supposed to give the details here. But through the proper channels, ibababa ng mga area VPs yan sa DDs. The DDs will be cascading it down to the chapters, and the chapter officers will be cascading it further to the regular members. Lahat po ay tutulong.
Yes,
And
sir.
speaking of yung LGUs, yun po ay nakarehistro na lahat ng LGU, and we are going to have a big campaign at going and visiting the LGUs for this one.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
In addition, Architect Pacoy, Architect Dumlao, in addition, may plan tayo kasi after presenting this, after i-present to ni Sir Boy, yung RA 9266, with the explanation of all the chapters of the grassroots nga, ang kompleto yun. Then, like what we did with our legal counsel, you've attended that, DD Albert, we will have the 9266 forum for all the chapter presidents. This is lahatan na po ito. Malaking forum ang gagawin natin via Zoom. And hopefully, dito natin ilalabas para makarating sa up to the chapter presidents. It will be a 9266 forum. Naku, nag-divulge ko na.
Actually, sir,
Where we're
Excited
going.
na.
if I may, sir, a follow-up question. Tayo po ba, kasi ngayon, lalo na sa social media, mas laganap ngayon, nakikita natin, ako everyday nasa social media ako, nakikita ko yung developments ng illegal practice na lumalaganap sa atin. Tayo po ba meron tayong ang sigaw ng karamihan sa whole body of architects is anong ginagawa natin to address illegal practice? I guess in some way 9266 addresses that, yung task force, but is there anything more concrete that UAP is doing or perhaps has done to address that?
Ito na po yung difficult round.
sorry na binali ko yung saya.
Pare, hindi difficult to. Cleanser na to ba?
Hindi, sir, kasi through this channel, through Poste channel, actually ang dami ring ako ang dami ko nakakaaway diyan eh. Sagutan lang naman with regards to, of course, yung our partner allied services, yung ibang social media channels like myself, sila digital architects, sila si Maestro, lahat sila meron ding current I wouldn't say grievances pero experience with illegal practices. And as much as we are here to promote the profession, ang tanong ng lahat is, for one, ano ba yung yung question ko kanina, have we and are we addressing the issue of illegal architects or illegal practice? Yes, sir, in NEVP.
We thereby invoke our right for self-incrimination.
Daily double.
Pare, we have to, sige, actually, pwede kong gamitin yung lifeline na call a friend. We can call si NP Boy-Roldan. But, again, as mentioned nga ni, we have been fighting about this, di ba? But right now, as we speak, di ba? it was clearly laid out step by step by NP Boy together with our etc. and etc. Kompleto sila doon, di ba? Everything is complete. It's laid out. Everybody got a copy, and we are in complete coordination. In the next, yung illegal practice na banggit mo, paring Pakoy, di ba? Yung illegal practice. And I would like to thank the NP for, really allotting medyo sort of a big chunk ng konti about that because we have plans. We have plans for now. And kaya lang, syempre, again, yun nga, parang hirap magsalita ng hindi dapat itutuloy Di ba? Parang si NP pa rin, nangangatin na magsalita. Lang yan.
And I guess, okay lang. Pwede nating hintayin when the time is right and plans are more concrete. Siguro, and Poste, my channel is available for
maganda i-guest ulit sila.
Yes,
para pag okay na yung mga plans.
For any kind of dissemination of information, andito lang kami.
Thanks, pare, for respecting that. Medyo ano lang talaga.
I understand. And sorry for putting you on the spot.
Hindi, kaya nga spot.
May question pa akong pang on the spot.
Kaya nga spotcast to. Spotcast to.
Oo nga, no? Nasa Spotify din tayo.
Ito naman ang question. Meron din akong difficult question.
Teka, left the conversation. Dali. NT, alis. SG, alis.
This is in line with, alam ko naman na you can answer this appropriately. In line with our thrust of member first, di ba? Of course, we know we assert the UAP's position as the AYAPOA. And by virtue of being the AYAPOA, all registered architects are automatically members of the UAP. Now, in the course of yung kami nila Pakoy, marami kaming nabanggit na kanina, marami kaming mga ka-contacts din sa social media, sa Facebook, etc. na should we say na hindi talaga masyadong active sa UAP and always air their grievances to us. And ang gusto ko lang sigurong i-put na question for the members of our MANCOMM is how do we address those members na nakikita ko kasi parang meron silang resistance to join the UAP na parang napipilitan lang sila. And pag sinabi ko naman sa kanila na hindi, you should be active and join a chapter para makita niyo yung benefits of membership to the UAP. Ayan, sabi naman nila, hindi, member na ako ng isang architectural organization So, paano kaya natin pwedeng i-address yun? And it may be not an official, maybe kung wala pa tayong official policy for that, maybe just personal opinions from our good members of the MANCOMM.
Yeah. Allow me to answer first, DD Albert.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. That's a very good concern, Albert, because we very well know na actually let us accept the fact that we cannot really please everyone, and just like in any organization, there will be dissenting opinions kasi, di ba? So others think that they will not be able to benefit anything from joining the organization. So we can just simply leave it at that. No? But what we intend to do is, to act on a positive manner. Just 2 days ago, I already got from the membership care department the complete master list of the entire membership of UAP. Naka-categorize na doon yung mga architects per chapter. And I'm trying to study it so that we could be able to extend the help to those who really need it. You could see from the bottom part those members without chapter affiliations. But at one point in time have paid their IAPOA dues kasi naka-record kay Franco. So personally, on as the SecGen, no, I think it would help, no, if we could be able to reach out to these people. Those at the bottom of the list, they were categorized at the bottom kasi they have no chapter affiliations. We are going to reach out to them and check kung ano yung sa tingin nilang reasons why they are inactive, why they resist to be a member of a chapter, and probably make projects or recommendations to the NBT regarding them. In fact, just last year, no, yung under the presidency of NP Bench, we already had the what do you call that? Amnesty. Yes, thank you, NP. Amnesty program. But surprisingly, very few availed. No, kung may mga 300, 400, 500 tayong delinquent members, siguro baka wala pang 10 o 15 ang nag-avail ng amnesty. So, it was a good program, but it was not well received. So we are trying to study now what went wrong. So most likely, if there is such program, but very few availed, maybe the communication needs to be improved. So perhaps, again, a proactive approach is to get to the bottom of the list, yung mga walang chapter affiliation or those who refuse to pay anymore, and talk to them directly because may email address kasi. So that's one thing we will be doing in the Secretariat. Yeah.
Maganda po yan, Sir SG. Ano? And will you be making this master list available to the chapters?
We can, but you know, we also have to consider that the master list is medyo, it is a sensitive document of the organization. But siguro if...
per chapter lang. Kunyari, master list ng chapter niya.
Oh yes. In fact, ang dami nang humingi. Yung mga, kasi gusto nilang i-update yung mga members nila. We are already doing that. I already am helping the Secretariat unburdened by the loads of work that they are doing. No? Kasi yung ngayon na madalas ako sa HQ, nakikita ko kung gaano sila talaga ka-busy sa Secretariat. Sometimes ako personally, no, based talking from experience, as a regular member, pagka mayroon ako na-request at hindi ako napagbigyan agad-agad, naiinis ako. But now, I understand, totally understand, because if you see their everyday work, you would see talagang patong-patong yung trabaho nila. So, I took the initiative already to get the master list. And if someone, a chapter secretary emails and asks for a complete roster of their members, ako na yung gumagawa. So that, you know, two things. Number one, I am able to immediately assist. And secondly, that is my way of directly communicating with the chapter. Kesa yung, Franco, pakibigay. You know, nawawala na yung personal touch ba ng MANCOMM sa general membership. So, I am able to hit two birds with one stone. Na-unburden ko yung secretariat ng kanilang overloaded work, and at the same time, we get more personal with the chapters. So we are doing that, and through this podcast, I'd like to inform those who are watching. If you would like to get information from a roster of your of your membership per chapter, it is available. So that in at least in that way, you could be able to get in touch again with your long lost members who are, simply decided not to get in touch anymore. Maybe it's about time to touch base with them again.
Wow.
Thank you for that program, SG. And for our district, kasi yun din ang isa sa mga priority projects namin, yung pag-develop ng database. And kung may master list, i-update na lang namin yun. Mas madali na yung magiging trabaho namin.
Actually, mas madali na yun ngayon with Google Forms and everything. Everything is available online. And ang ano lang, talagang kung
Ang problema
alam ba
if
nila.
the member is not online.
Yes,
diba?
yun nga.
Yun
Like for us, for example, sa Baraswain, we have a registered, we have a master list of siguro roughly 400 plus members. Yung mga more than 200 doon, hindi na nagpapakita, hindi na rin masyadong nag-renew. So, and I'm sure it's the same in different chapters across the country na may similar na experiences silang pinagdadaanan sa ganun.
Actually, nabanggit ni SG kanina regarding sa mga members na walang chapter affiliation. Just a few weeks ago, or last week, I received a message from a former classmate of mine in college na siya nakapag-renew siya ng once. I think that was 2003. So bago pa yung mag RA 9266. And dahil hindi pa compulsory yung doon, 'di ba? Hindi pa automatic yung UAP membership.
Yeah.
So wala talaga siyang UAP chapter. So he reached out to me kung paano how to do it. Sabi ko, you can do two ways. Pwedeng through a chapter here in Bulacan, they can assist you, or you can also go straight to the UAP National Headquarters. And since dito naman siya sa Bulacan naka-base, sabi ko, dito I will assist him to find a chapter that will suit him here kasi 5 naman yung chapters namin dito. So yung mga ganun I think kailangan din talaga may of course assistance or talaga may general program from the national, and then from our local end sa mga districts and chapters meron din talagang genuine effort to reach out to these architects na within their jurisdiction pero wala pa ring mga chapters. Yun. Pakoy, ano pang natin?
Ako, so far, actually kanina nung nag-uusap tayo, nakita ko may tag na nanonood si past national president, immediate past national president si Architect Bench Panganiban, and nais ko rin lang siya batiin. Good evening, sir. Pati mga kaibigan natin sila Architect Becca Arlosa, Architect Richard Franco, si Architect Juice, Architect Richard Garcia. Actually, marami pa. Puro mga kasama natin.
Siguro at this point, I'd like to thank our guests for tonight.
Yes.
For giving us the opportunity, for gracing us here sa ating podcast. It shows really how yung MANCOMM na to talagang very proactive in terms of informing the members.
Actually.
And also very innovative, especially si Sir SG. Kahit na tinatawag akong critic niyan, love ko yan.
Actually, sir, banggitin ko lang, hindi naman sa pagsipsip, pero with our pandemic right now, there's no more fitting MANCOMM than sila. I wouldn't imagine, of course, not to say anything bad about other leaders, pero I just want to say, parang tinadhana na kayo mapunta sa time ng pandemic eh. Parang because of the programs, the corporate trust. Ang ganda eh. Sinasabi ko rin lang kay Didi Albert yun na based siya talaga on members eh. On members support, member trust, and I applaud you.
Kala ko pare mukha kaming
situation din. The situation then lends itself to talagang nataon na sila yung mga national leaders natin in this time so we should consider ourselves lucky to have these people leading the organization.
Let me just add a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay. yung aming biroan ni Albert, ano yan, because we have already established a long friendship with each other. So we can already tell straight to each other kung ano yung aming, yung aming personal opinion about things. So yung mga criticism, we are not saying ayaw namin yon, or we are not even saying masama yon, but we welcome that. No, do not get us wrong. Do not get us wrong. We welcome all those. Siguro lang we are just probably para bang ibang you are already overburdened by all the works that you worry about the institution, and then suddenly may isang magpa-pop up na isang complaint, and tao lang kami, that sometimes we burst out and say, pati ba naman yan, things like that. But rest assured, these are all listed down. We have notebooks, to list down all the
Okay.
you are all putting sa amin yan isa-isa. Easy lang kayo. 30 days pa lang kami. Okay? 30 days pa lang.
Dapat sir, may
Pero in
screenshot yan.
fairness,
Yung notebook
in 30
nyo.
days, parang isang fiscal year na yung trinabaho natin.
Ito. Tataas lang ako ng kamay, Thank you for that, Albert, di ba? Totoo yun. Yung 30 days, it feels like 1 year. Sa dami ng ginagawa, no? Actually, buti nga may pandemic, di ba? Kundi kung may trabaho tayo, wala na tayong trabaho ngayon, Pero pero without any, I agree with SG. Please forgive us. Syempre may mga shortcomings. Kaya lang ako, hindi ko masyadong kilala si Albert Dumlao, pero alaskador yan,
Bully yan, bully.
Hindi ka bully.
Kaya nga kaya minsan pa pag naabutan natin niya sa isang iskinitang madilim, tayo na bahala dyan, ha?
Uupuan ko yan,
Pero I think yung members na na nag-express ng kanilang mga sentiments, I think that's healthy, kasi I'd rather have that than say wala na lang pake yung mga members, di ba?
Yeah, tama yan. Welcome yan. It makes us grow. It makes us, aware, I would say, 'di ba? And syempre it fuels us up on how to, make better for everybody. Alam mo sa politics nga, let's put sa politics, 'di ba? Pare tanggalan mo ng ng makakaliwa, makakanan. Walang kwenta, 'di ba?
Lahat nasa gitna.
We have to keep
Kung
moving.
pare-pareho yung sinasabi natin.
Ha?
Yes.
We have to keep moving as we have to see everything.
Yeah. And listening to members, valuing their inputs, di ba, no? Listening is member first.
Yes.
Of course, listening to understand kung saan nanggagaling yung sinasabi niya, diba? And same with us, we listen to each other, itong MANCOMM, we discuss so many things. Then we allow to of course to speak up and discuss things. Kaya lumalabas itong mga ganito siguro, itong mga part na to. And siguro I think of course the MANCOMM really talaga yung mga ideas coming from each one of us, each one of the members is really something.
Yeah, actually kidding aside, pare. Kidding aside, this MANCOMM is kasi ang MANCOMM meetings, it normally happens mga around 4 times a year, I believe, 5 times a year. Actually, we hold it for us, I think we hold it mga around 4 times a month. So,
more.
yeah,
Twice a week pa.
Minsan twice a week.
Twice a week.
And I would like to take
Kala ko
this
ba day to day?
opportunity.
Dapat every day.
Sobra naman yun, di ba? Kaya nga that's what I want to say, and I want to thank the MANCOMM. Actually, ako personally, pag nag-request ako ng meeting, pag nag-request si SG ng meeting, nag-request si NP ng meeting, si NT, everybody really finds time, even when they're driving. Si NT nga, madalas nagda-drive, di ba? He really attends and he listens, di ba? those kind of things. And I have to say to some people siguro particularly mga other nating members, di ba? Kung meron kayong parang you want to air or whatsoever, the MANCOM is always open for everybody. That's part of the trust of the national president as being member driven, member centric. Yun talaga eh. Kaya yung nakatayong member first yan sa harap nila meron na NP, may stand na ba yan? O baka baso pa rin yung nasa likod?
Kaya natin.
Baka yung lunchbox ni Sir Don.
Yeah, we have to put a stand on that because that's actually the real trust of the UAP leadership. So, we have to be firm with that. Even with that karton, we have to be firm with that because that's what we are here for. So, yun lang naman ang akin. I'm proud of this.
Ha?
Ay, Sir Don, makwento ko lang yung tungkol sa listening. Kasi nasabi ni NP, di ba, na before the first fiscal year started, si NP Rene, he gave me a call. Of course, I was surprised, And then, ang tinanong kong bakit. And he said to me, wala, gusto ko lang malaman what your thoughts are for this fiscal year, etc. So, pinakinggan niya ako for 2 hours.
Wow.
Na ako lang nagsasalita. Anyway, pero sabihin ko, that goes to show how totoo talaga yung sinasabi ni Sir Rene regarding listening. And again, ang nakikita ko maganda dito or at least positive dito sa nangyayaring pandemic natin na we are not able to meet as we usually could, is kahit na we are apart, actually I think we are more connected now, kahit virtually lang. And
True, that's true.
Because of your initiative, especially sa MANCOM, you're setting the tone na very reachable yung natin, yung leadership natin. And of course, it will trickle down to the areas, to the EXICOM, to the areas, to the districts, and to the chapters. So yun din yung gusto nating sabihin sa mga chapter presidents natin, na don't treat this pandemic as a hindrance. Think of it as more of a challenge or on a positive note na mas makaka-reach out pa nga kayo sa inyong mga members.
Yeah,
diba,
that's
okay?
true. That's true.
Very true. That's very,
Yeah, that's very well said, pare. Ganun talaga. Kaya lang on a side note on that, one of the medyo not so good thing about now is actually akala natin dumali yung buhay natin, about hindi na tayo nagta-travel. Yung pala mas humihirap, Ang hirap umupo ng buong araw pala, So, yan yung mga trade-off di ba? Mahirap umupo ng buong araw. But, the good thing about it, we are at the safety of our homes. And, siyempre, honestly, this pandemic made us concentrate some more kung ano yung mga talagang true needs of the membership.
Yung mga essential
Priorities.
ng mga bagay.
Yes.
Okay.
Pare,
thank you. So, Pakoy, anong natin?
So
Okay,
we've been chatting for about an hour and 45 minutes already, and that's an hour 45 na hindi kumakain si SG tsaka si NP.
Pasensya na po.
Dahil hindi sila
Magpapagrap daw si Pakoy dyan.
Alam ko hindi nakakain sila dun sa event ng QC.
Pare, gusto niyo flat tops?
Uy, may flat tops. Dapat ano yan? Ano yung kinakain natin? Choknut.
Choknut.
Choknut. Pare, flat tops ako, pare. Ayoko na choknut ka ba?
Okay. So, in behalf of the UAP District A2a, as well as Poste.
Siguruhin natin sila ng mga parting
Yes. Okay, sige.
Yes.
Parting words, starting from you, NT.
Sa akin, okay. Again, thank you, Pakoy, thank you, Albert, Jose, Joey De Leon, tawagin ko yan. No? For giving us this opportunity to reach out the members, alam ko marami nakikinig, no? This is a very good avenue, very good avenue for us to be heard by the general membership. Napakagandang program nito, no? Napakaganda. I hope na magkatuloy-tuloy ito at maging regular pag-invite nyo sa amin.
Yes, sir.
We'll be more than willing. We'll be more than willing to to help you and to talk with you. No? Sabi ko kanina, we value yung criticism naman. Hindi naman kami we know that we're not perfect, that we do sometimes make mistakes, and we value criticism. And sabi ko nga, constructive criticism makes me strong, and destructive criticism makes me stronger. It makes my resolve stronger to serve UAP, better and for the good of the members. Yun lang. MANCOMM will always be here. Kaming apat na actually pagka nagmi-meeting kami, para kami nasa bull session, hindi very informal meeting. Talagang bull session and no holds bar. And at the end of the day, we agree na isa lang stand namin lagi. And that's how we should lead the UAP, di ba? We are united Dapat in unity lagi tayo.
Yes.
Yun lang naman. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And again, thank you.
Si Sir NEVP Idol Don de Guzman.
Wala nga idol na naman. Actually, if you notice, parang, di ba, I want to make things light all the time. It's always the case. But kami in the MANCOMM, as NT said, we have bull sessions, di ba? I keep telling NT na, NT, be straight, be straight. Puro be straight. And yet, of course, we infuse the lightness in that, just like what we're doing right now. Na, we joke around or whatsoever, but we're serious in what we do. We are really, parang objective driven. Andito na kung ano yung talagang sa makakabuti or whatsoever. Of course, we're not perfect. Apat pa lang kami. Siguro pag mas marami tayo as NBD, mas marami pa tayong magandang gagawin. And the key here is actually what the national president did to you, paring Albert. Pare, that is communication. That is hearing you out. Diba? We have to hear each other out instead of, us assuming that you're thinking this way and that way or whatsoever way. Diba? We have to communicate openly, tell what's in our hearts, diba? What's, what our leadership pattern would be or whatsoever. And I believe lahat na nag-lead sa UAP, pare, walang nag-isip na masama para dyan. Lahat yan, syempre, nagsiserve lang na walang sweldo or whatsoever. Syempre, it's very easy for, some people to say na, uy, ganito, or whatsoever. But us, tayo, magkakasama ngayon, Albert, Akoy, we serve UAP in our own little ways, in our big ways, small ways, whatever ways. And we know how it works. It's really hard, but we have to do it because we accepted it. Yun lang naman. Communication is key. Diba? Kaya NT, bigay mo na sa akin yung cellphone number mo. Hindi kita matawagan eh.
yung second phone.
Mag-Facebook ka na, NT.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you, Albert pare. Thank you, paring Pakoy. Wala na si Jose, sayang. Pero thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Si Sir SG.
Okay, thank you very much. Gusto ko rin magpasalamat sa Poste at this podcast na ginawa niyo because this initiative actually brought us closer to the membership in another way, in another platform. Although that is already our trust in all of our programs, but this is totally a welcome addition to reaching out to the members. So I'd like to thank also, wala na si Jose, no? I'd like to thank him because during the time that we were together in Commission on Education, he has been really instrumental in, in all of the programs of ComEd. So as SecGen, please rest assured that the projects and programs I will be doing is dovetailed to the trust of the national president. We are the implementers kasi tayo yung nakikita ng tao at tayo yung bumababa sa mga chapters. Rest assured, we shall be continuing that. In fact, sabi nga namin, wala pa naman kaming sabi nga ni NP gusto niya report ng kanyang first 100 days. We are just on our 30th day, and people never gave us any honeymoon period, no? So talagang binakbakan na kami, but it's all right. It's all right. We welcome that because it makes us even stronger, as NT Fred said. Just a reminder lang to those who are watching the live podcast, no? If you message me at na-scene zone ko kayo, hindi ko kayo ini-ignore. Busy lang talaga. And then get back to any of your requests, inquiries, suggestions. We will get right back. Pero it is not that we are ignoring the people. Ang dami kasi, sobrang dami. If only you can check the messages that are coming in every hour. Ang dami talaga. No, so you should understand.
Kaya mo ako.
Yes.
Magandang disclaimer.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Magandang disclaimer yun, SG. I think we should all have that. Ngayon naman, let's hear it from our national president.
Ay, ako, thank you, Architect Pacoy, DD Albert, maraming salamat, including si Architect Jose, no? Siguro in behalf of the MANCOMM as well, NT, SG, NEVP, maraming salamat din. Siguro through yung series of mga naranasan ko sa mga CSRs, really pagtulong, you will never go wrong. When you speak, when you ask for favor, helping someone, really you will never go wrong. Ang bait ng tao, handa talagang tumulong to tell you. As much as possible, kung kumausap parang ang sarap, there's a joy in your heart. And I think I should say this leadership, kung sakali man, this leadership it's more personal kasi it is from within, no? From the inside. This leadership is from the heart. I'm not that, hindi po ako mahusay na tao to tell you. Simple lang po, hindi nga umaka. Pero I think siguro kung ganitong makikinig, pakinggan mo lang siya, you will know more, you will learn, no? Siguro, ganun lang kasimple ang MANCOMM na to, no? And I'm very thankful, siguro, pagkakataon ko na rin, pasalamatan talagang, I cannot do it alone. To tell you, ayoko nag-iisa dahil kami kasama, it's always us, it's always ours, not mine, not I. It's ours, no? This is UAP and it's united. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din po. Sir Albert?
Again, I'd like to thank our good members of the MANCOMM officers, our national officers, NP Rene, SG Joey, NEVP Don, and NT Fred for lending us your time. Alam namin, very, very busy ang MANCOMM at binagbigyan nyo ang aming request to be our first guest dito sa collaboration between the District A2a, Regional District A2a and Poste. Siguro parang bitin pa ako. Siguro dapat meron tayong MANCOMM time every month. No?
Pwede rin.
Okay lang po.
Yes, no problem.
Sige po, we will schedule that, no, para at least yung mga developments na natatrack din natin and we are able to communicate it through this platform. So thank you po ulit. Maraming salamat po.
Ako, maraming salamat po sa lahat sa MANCOMM for gracing the pages of Poste the channel and Poste the podcast. This endeavor has been in cooperation with my chapter UAP Baraswain, as well as of course the District A2a. The Poste channel has been around for a little over 2 years and has always been in service of the UAP as well as the Filipino architect. So always, sir, Poste is available if you have anything to say, if you have any dissemination. And like Sir Albert said, you're welcome in the podcast if you want to air out anything, if you want to reach the followers as well, especially with now, marami na kaming nasa social media na architects, all doing this in promotion of the Filipino architect, promoting the profession as well. So, again, thank you very much sa lahat ng nanood sa atin ngayong gabi. Maraming salamat. Medyo
Shout out sa Area A Council and District A2a Council.
Shout out kay Sir Alfred Carandang, nanonood siya ngayon, at saka si Sir Richie Corcuera. Anyway, again, to all the viewers, to all the people who follow Poste and our respective pages, maraming salamat po. And this is Architect Pacoy and Architect Albert Dumlao. Follow us and watch us next week as we interview a landscape architect and talking about plants in your home and landscape in general. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat and good night.
Thank you po ulit.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Sir NP, SG,
Sir NP,
NEVP.
salamat.
Thank you.
Thanks, pare.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you po.